We'll take a quick look at how to store data on the client's device. In the classic web application model, the data lives on or near the server. Clients connect to the server connects to databases. In the mobile web applications model, the data lives on the client device. This is because the client device may not always be connected to the internet, and you need immediate access and local access to data. We have three options: session storage, local storage, and a database. Session storage lasts only until that browser session is closed. Local storage lasts until someone selects the empty cache option. And databases are kept until someone selects the clear databases option. Let's take a look at what this looks like in an actual browser. Here's a web page I visit fairly often, the Chronicle of Higher Education. If I open up the Web Inspector, over on the left-hand side I can see that there's an entry under Resources for databases, local storage, and session storage. In this case, I may need to flip the disclosure triangle in order to see the contents, but I can see that this website has stored some information in local storage. I can see what that information is by selecting from the list. In this case, one completely empty local storage file and one that has a single key value pair. What does this look like in code? Well, let me build my own little application here. We'll start by having the standard jQuery headers with an added script line to load my own sample script file. That's where I'll put all of my JavaScript code for this mobile web application. This application only has two panels, the Home section and a Settings section. And the Home section has a link in its toolbar to the div with ID settings. Settings consists entirely of a standard HTML form. Each input element on the form will be displayed just as it would on a normal web page. Notice the placeholder option attribute. Placeholder is an HTML5 feature that allows us to put temporary text into the field so that the user is prompted without there having to be a separate label. Note that each of your input fields needs to have a name and an ID, and that they should match. I've made a mistake here on food, so let me correct that. And finally, you have a submit button. Let's take a look at the JavaScript code. This is the standard jQuery code that initializes jQuery. When the document is ready, meaning the document is fully loaded, I'm going to execute this anonymous function, which does just two things. It gets a reference to the settings div and the form within it, and then overrides the default submit behavior by telling it to call the save settings method, which is defined at line 11. Second, we bind a page animation start event to the settings div, so that when the page animation starts, that is, when someone goes to the settings page, the load settings function is called. Save settings looks at each of the three fields. It simply gets the value currently in the field and stores it as a property, in this case, in sessionStorage. I then do the same thing for the person's favorite color and the person's favorite food. When that's done, we activate the go back function, which simply causes the stack to be popped, and we return to the page we were on prior to going to settings. Load settings does the opposite. When the page animation starts, load settings gets the property for name out of sessionStorage and then sets the value of the name field to that property. Similarly for color and food.